There has been a great man named Nostradamus. He also made a prophecy on this Das. You must have read it. It has been mentioned in Gyan Ganga as well by the followers. You must have read it. If not, then you can read it. He has described in full detail and to the point. And yesterday a devotee brought here a prophecy published in a magazine of some lady foreteller, because now our devotees have become assayers and quickly understand about whom the speech is being said. So they gave it here, and we saw it yesterday, and today it is being brought in front of you, and it is excellent. This magazine that Das is showing to you now, only 2 pages from it have been given by some devotee. In this, the name of the magazine is not given, but the speech written in it is fantastic. It is true. The devotees have also searched about it online and on YouTube and have found it to be exactly same. Now we will read it to you. There has been a foreteller named Florence in America, and she has talked about this Das, about a great man. It doesn't need a mention, it doesn't look good to mention again, it will automatically come to the fore once you will know the characteristics in here. She has said, see here, world-renowned foreteller Florence has done a prediction that the Third World War would not take place. It will be averted by the efforts of India, due to the ideology of a divine great man from India. People of spiritual disposition will come to power. The followers of that great man will spread this new ideology to the entire world. Not only India, but people of the whole world would be influenced by that ideology. The important predictions of foreteller Florence. Now see this. This is that sister whose picture has been made in this very magazine. She is standing in this photograph in the magazine, and she is standing like a philosopher. Her vision can be seen very clearly here. Now we will read ahead, which would be more enjoyable. We have photocopied this and the words have been enlarged, which makes it easy to read. Please see in this. We will read what is relevant to us. That we had read on page number 53. This we had read on page 53. This is page 53. We had seen it here on page 53. And now we will read here on page 54. This is page 54. Now see what has been written here. First, they have mentioned that a lot of prophecies of Florence have come true. For example, Saddam Hussein, the president of Iraq, fought a war with America. So many predictions of Florence have come true that no one casts any doubt on her prophecies. Even the scientists are in awe of her predictions every time. Florence has mentioned India, the country, in her predictions many times. In her book named The Fall of Sensational Culture, she has written that around the year 2000 AD, the balance of nature will deteriorate in a fearsome manner. That is, bad behavior, corruption, dishonesty will infest people. There will be a strong feeling of resentment in people. Misconduct will reach its peak. Those who lead a luxurious life in Western countries will have disappointment, restlessness, and unrest. Unfulfilled desires will escalate, due to which mutual bitterness will also rise. There will be an environment of violence and vandalism everywhere. The poor will snatch the properties of the rich. There will be such an environment that there will be an outcry everywhere. Now see. Now this foreteller is saying that had that saint not come, the plight of India would have become such that people would have started looting each other. Then instantly what she said is that due to the ideology of that saint, that lethal atmosphere would be averted.
There will be such an environment that there will be an outcry everywhere, but a new ideology emerging from India will end this deadly atmosphere. That ideology will explain the importance of harmony and brotherhood with a scientific viewpoint. It will also explain this, that there is no mutual conflict between religion and science. It will bring to the light the supremacy of spirituality and the hollowness of materialism in front of everyone. Now, pious souls, understand the role of these foretellers to be this much. For instance, God has made a rule. He has made earth and sun and all the constellations, and it is predetermined that the sun will rise at 6:20 am. If someone having knowledge of geography, astronomy tells that on such a date the sun will rise at 6:20 am, even if he hadn't told, then also the sun would have risen at that time, because that God has already made that predetermined system. Even if these foretellers had not told, then also God has decided on that predetermined day this would have happened anyway. Now that these foretellers are telling, so it is even more a golden chance for all of you. All pious souls should not delay. Are these great souls telling lies? God has said it, all the saints are saying it, and even these foretellers are saying it, who were not even related to this country in any way. Even then, if you would not understand, then you are childish, without any intellect. Please see this. Like Das explains to you many times in every satsang spiritual discourse, Das explains to you what God had said earlier, and even now, majority of my satsang spiritual discourse are based on this subject, that what are you doing? You have become multi-billionaire by looting the world, and you left it all behind. सर्व सोने की लंका थी वो रावण से रणधीरम, एक पलक में राज बिराजे वो यम के पड़े जंजीरम. Someone who was once a ruler of the world is today living in a burrow after becoming a rat. God says, राम रटट निर्धन भला, टूटी घर की छान, वो सुंदर महल किस काम के जहां भक्ति नहीं भगवान. So here Florence, our sister, is trying to say that by the ideology of that saint, supremacy of spirituality and the hollowness of materialism will be revealed. It is happening in front of you, and everybody's conscious is accepting that this is the case. They are saying that it will bring to light the supremacy of spirituality and the hollowness of materialism in front of everyone. The middle class will be influenced by that ideology a lot. Those of you who are coming here belong to the middle class and see how you are appearing here in great numbers and are considering everything this Das says to be final. Neither you have to give anything nor take anything from anyone. Marriage has to be accomplished in a simple way. We unnecessarily spend huge amount of money in marriage, and then we have made numerous unnecessary ceremonies. When Durga got Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh married, there was no one from the bride or the groom side. There was no one preparing sweets or playing DJ. She just said to Brahma, "This is your wife Savitri. Take her and settle down." She gave Lakshmi to Vishnu and said, "Son, this is your wife, go and settle down." And gave Parvati to Shankarji. That's it, marriage is accomplished. Everything else that we used to do is unnecessary nonsense. We kept a burden on our heads, we kept accumulating money all our lives by unfair means for those unnecessary things only, and in the end we used to leave everything here. Now please see, it will bring to light the hollowness of materialism. The middle class will be highly influenced by that ideology. This group will inspire all the groups of the society towards the development of a good society. This ideology will bring a miraculous change in the entire world. I perceive with my sixth sense that the great saint who will give rise to this viewpoint has taken birth in India. Please see here. Here it is written that a journalist had asked Florence in 1964. And the beginning of 1980 will take place with extensive upheaval. After 1979-1980, such earthquakes will occur that some part of New Jersey and places of many countries of Europe and Asia will be torn apart by the earthquake. Some will get submerged in water. The terror of Third World War will set in everyone's mind, and they will prepare for this war. But Indian politicians, not politicians, it is an indication towards that saint, will avert the Third World War. So she was alive till 1964. In 1964, she was young when she was telling all this. She must have lived another 10, 20, 30 years. She was alive until 1994, 95. So she had told at that time, she had also mentioned in 1964 that saint has taken birth. And she could at that time also see the current state of Das. She could see that. Please see here, I perceive with my sixth sense, that is, the sense that I have, that the great saint who will give rise to this viewpoint has taken birth in India. The influence of the brilliant personality of that saint will amaze everyone. His ideology will again give a new vigor to the decreasing influence of spirituality in the world. There will be a spiritual atmosphere everywhere. Wonderful. Das has been repeatedly saying that if God had not commenced his true bhakti via this Das, then in the coming 50 years there would have been no one taking the name of God in India. There would have been such an uproar. So this also has been mentioned here, that he will again uplift the degrading standard of spirituality. This is the meaning. The influence of the brilliant personality of that saint will amaze everyone. His ideology will again give a new vigor to the decreasing influence of spirituality. And there will be a spiritual atmosphere everywhere. The people influenced by the ideology of that saint will move towards the West for the welfare of the world. They will gradually spread completely in Asia, Europe and America. Everywhere. The entire world will be impressed by the viewpoint of that saint and will walk on his footprints. People of the Western countries will consider him to be Jesus Christ. People of the Western countries, for example America, England, etc., will consider him to be Jesus. Muslims will consider him to be a true guide, and the people of Asia will regard him as an incarnation of God. An intellectual revolution will occur from the ideology of that great saint, intellectual meaning good, that is, wise people will join him. See here, the beliefs of the intellectual people will change. These people who consider themselves to be superior, these high officials, will be compelled to think that what are we doing, what should we have done? The beliefs of the intellectual people will change. Shoots of devotion and faith towards God will sprout in them. According to Florence, that saint has taken birth in India already. She was very much impressed by this saint. She has also written in another book of hers, Golden Light of New Era, when I meditate, then I frequently see a saint. He is fair-skinned. That is, he has a fair skin, and then that saint has a splendid radiance on his forehead. Rays of light of a heavenly body from the sky constantly keep showering on his forehead. Wonderful. Now, pious souls, you may see here, this is how the rays come. God is sitting above, right here in Satlok. He is showering his rays from there on this Das in this way. It is coming from the skies above, and then the power of God is continually functioning in this Das. From that only, you are further being given connection. The sister Florence is describing the same thing by seeing with her divine vision that rays of light from a heavenly body in the sky are continuously showering on his forehead, and the same power is further going into all of you. Please see here. When I meditate, then I frequently see that saint. He is fair-skinned. Now see, here he has forgotten to write something. Our devotees, based on a book that he has mentioned about. Please see. Another book, Golden Light of New Era. This is a book. Based on this book, our devotees have taken out some material from a website. It is as follows in English. Please see. It is this only. I can clearly visualize a golden era divine. She says that she keeps on seeing. See here. The translation in Hindi that he has done is from here. When I enter great flights of meditation, I visualize, I see. What is this sister saying? That when I enter great flights of meditation, that is, when I do my meditation, then what do I see? Please see. When I enter the great flights of meditation, I visualize such a great saint who is fair-skinned, that is, who has a fair complexion with white hair. He has grey hair without a beard or a moustache. He does not have any beard or moustache. And he has white hair. She was seeing this age of Das at that time, that at that time he will become famous. Now he has translated the same thing here, but a bit less. He might have forgotten. She has also written in another book of hers, Golden Light of New Era, when I meditate, then I frequently see a saint. He is fair-skinned. He forgot to write further that he has white hair and he is without beard or moustache. The thing is that some journalist has portrayed the prophecy uttered by her in his own way. So, these people's viewpoint was on another saint, that it might be him. It is written in this that he might be Sri Ram Sharma. The person has further written in this. Like the original text of Gita is correct. The original text is correct. But the translators had themselves put it down to Sri Krishna, that Sri Krishna is narrating Gita. So here he has intentionally left this that. He will have grey hair and he will not have any beard or moustache. Therefore he has left this here. Whereas it has been clearly written in the one in English. That is the prediction uttered by her in her language. Please see here. When I meditate, I often see a saint. He is fair-skinned. The saint has an amazing brightness on his forehead. Rays of light from a heavenly body constantly keep showering from the sky on his forehead. They continuously keep coming on him. I see that saint, through the power of his auspicious ideology and his followers enriched with virtuous character, is disseminating the light of new knowledge in the whole world. You can see that the children of Bandi Chhod, that is the liberator, by going to far-off places, are propagating the knowledge of God. That saint, through the power of his auspicious ideology and his followers, enriched with virtuous characters, disseminating the light of new knowledge in the whole world. That saint is continuously increasing his power. He has so much power that he can also cause changes to the nature. He will do his work in a scientific manner. By his grace and endeavors, a new awareness will come in the human civilization. A new consciousness will be transmitted through all the masses of the world. A new form of people power will emerge to the fore, which will put restraint on the arbitrariness of those in power, those in high power. The followers of the saint will compel the kings who act arbitrarily to behave sensibly. You have acted nonsensically for a long time. A new consciousness will be transmitted through all the masses of the world. A new form of people power will emerge to the fore, which will put restraint on the arbitrariness of those in power, on the politicians. A psychiatrist and world-renowned hypnotist, Dr. Maury Bernstein, was a good friend of Florence. Once she had also said to him, she told him that, "Doctor, that time is approaching very quickly when the society will listen to the statements of social workers like you much more carefully than that of the power-greedy politicians. By the arrival of the 21st century, a new ideology will influence the entire world. Organization of religious people with good character in every nation will change the wrong beliefs in the people's minds. This ideology will blossom in India, will commence in India, and it will spread in all the countries of the world. I'm seeing an intense ascetic. I am seeing an intense ascetic on that holy place whose brilliance is spreading very quickly. That saint is trying day and night to awaken the dormant divinity in human beings and to make the earth like heaven. A journalist had asked Florence in 1964 whether she can tell the future of the world or not. In its reply, Florence had said that in 1980, this will happen. In 1990, this will happen. She had told everything. All right. What has she said further? Until the advent of the Third World War, the reins of India's control, she says here, the terror of the Third World War will set in everyone's mind, and the Indian politicians with their influence and intellect will become successful in averting the Third World War. Until the advent of the Third World War, the reins of India's control will be in the hands of people with spiritual disposition. Therefore, the World War will be averted by their influence. Those rulers will be impressed by the brilliant and revolutionary ideology of a great saint. They will be submitted to that saint in the same way as Washington was submitted to independence and humanity. Florence, a resident of New Jersey. New Jersey is a city in America. Florence, a resident of New Jersey, was really an extraordinary woman. Once a man called Nebel, this journalist has tried to show. He was trying to showcase that there was a reporter of America and he was taking her interview, and that interview was being broadcast live on television. Live. He asks that you are telling a lot about a saint, but tell something about me. This is the account in this. Instead of reading it out, I'm narrating like that. It will be done quickly. So Florence said, let me tell you about yourself. She held his right hand and she said, you will also do journalism in some other state. You will go there. So he was saying, he has written in this that I was telling her that you are joking with me. If people of my department would be hearing this interview, my boss, they will definitely sack me. I will not do any journalism in any other state, but will definitely lose my job. What a joke you are making. At that very moment, a phone came from my head office and it was for me only. I answered the call. My boss was saying that, I am watching your interview. I am astonished. We have decided that we will send you to New York for propagation there. We will declare this tomorrow. It has been finalized. I am amazed. I am listening to your interview. How did this Florence come to know about it? Come soon. We have to send you over there. So the purport of this statement is that the interviewer is saying that her prophecy was so accurate. So she only is talking about that saint and it cannot be untrue. Now see this. Please see here. I have left this here. He was telling the same thing here. During a TV program, I asked her, the journalist is actually saying this, often you tell about the saint who has taken birth in India. I would like to know something about me. Please tell me. Florence held his right hand and said, very soon you will be broadcasting from another state. Nebel was an employee of a broadcast service and he started laughing on this comment of Florence. After a few moments, he said, you have cracked a good joke on me. If the officials of my company are watching this program, then whether I may go to another state or not, but for the time being, I will be definitely expelled from the company. Then he made this statement. Now he said, when Nebel picked up the phone, then he said, we have decided to commence broadcasting from New York. You only will be sent there. Keep this a secret at the moment. It will be declared tomorrow. I was watching your interview with Florence on TV. The boss is saying this. Whatever Florence has told about you is completely true. I'm surprised that how did she come to know about it? Nebel kept looking at Florence's face. Now That woman used to make very accurate predictions. He has proved this. She only used to make prophecies about that saint. See further. Some journalists had once asked her that how does she see the future and how does she locate missing people or things. Then Florence told them, I myself don't know how it becomes possible. I am telling a very important thing about the future. She used to say this repeatedly, that at the end of 20th century, in India, around 1947, a light will emanate. That light will give information to the whole world about those divine powers that have remained mysterious for all of us until now. This light will spread in the whole world through a divine great man. He will inspire everyone to tread on this true path. A light of new thought will spread in the whole world. When I am in meditation, then often I see this divine great man. Florence has repeatedly mentioned about this saint or divine great man. Besides, she has also told that he is present in a holy place of northern India in Barwala. So, by souls, a word to the wise is sufficient. Get your welfare done. The later you will come, the more you will repent. This is a golden chance. You have obtained this golden chance. Make the most of it. Sat Sahib.